Correct.
Back in,
I'm gonna get myself out of here. Hold on.
Muting.
Get out. Okay.
Mrs. Salzer. Mrs. Petropoulos absent. Mrs. Lammel. She's online. Mrs. Lebudzik. Here. Mr. Milkowski. And Ms. Joy.
here,
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, yes.
Yes, I know we have a lot of guests here this evening. I think the majority of them are here to recognize our volleyball team. And that's one of the first things on our agenda. We just have a few things to take care of. But I wanted to welcome you and thank you so much for coming out tonight. And can't wait to celebrate you in a couple minutes. So thank you very much for coming. Next 2.0, we do have a vacancy to fill for the school board vice presidency from the resignation we had last month. So we will need to nominate and second and then vote on the person. So we will open it up for nominations. If you can just, I know Mrs. Lammel is online, so we can just make sure we're very careful about opening up our microphone so that she can hear it as well.
Okay, I'd like to. Can I go?
You're still muted.
I'm trying to get on. Okay, I would like to nominate Tirza Lamo for vice president, and here's why. Tirza has been on the school board a couple of times, and she knows all the ins and outs. And on top of that, she can explain financial matters for the school like nobody else I know, including myself, who's been on here a very long time. She's very good at the financials, understands where it's coming from. And she's always been reliable and we can depend on her. So that is my choice for the vice president. I'd like to nominate. So can we have a motion?
So we have a motion. We would need a second.
Dr. Horns, what if I wanted to nominate someone?
We would
Separately? Okay.
Aye.
No.
Does not look like she's with us right now.
Can you find her? Pardon me? Aye. We gotta get.
I can hear you.
I have 2 no's and 2 yeses.
Okay.
So we need either, is Mrs. Salzer available? Or I'm sorry, Mrs. Lammel.
I cannot see her on here right now.
So we have to do another vote.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Chrissy Petropoulos. I know she's not here on behalf of herself.
Okay, could I?
I'll second that.
Wait, I'd like to ask something. Can I ask the reason? Just why?
Well, I think that she brings a great perspective being in the schools and my experience with her so far on the board. I think that she'd be a great asset as the vice president.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go on the vote. We have Mrs. Petropoulos nominated and Ms. Joy did the second on that. Mrs. Lebudzik.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm unmuted. Okay. Mr. Milkowski.
Aye.
Ms. Joy.
Aye.
Mrs. Salzer.
No,
Okay, we have a 3-1 on that.
yeah.
So Mrs.
Okay.
Petropoulos.
And then Lori, we have a vacancy then for the secretary position?
Yes, we have to nominate a secretary pro tempore. That would be for this meeting only right now.
So can we have a motion to select a school board secretary pro tempore?
Oh, I'll nominate Joy.
I'll second.
Mr. Malkowski. Ms. Joy. Mrs. Lebudzick. And Mrs. Salzer.
Aye.
All right, now comes the fun part of the meeting. We get to recognize, first off, I have this very colored gift basket here. We received from the Illinois Association of School Boards a letter letting us know that Nancy Salzer, our board president, has become Master Board Member Level 2, and it deals with going to meetings and running meetings and getting extra professional development. So they sent a little gift that we wanted to share with you and congratulate you on that honor. So here you go, Mrs. Salzer.
Thank you. You know I'm not good at this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Gino, if you can make sure the community computer is on for us so that when I get up here to talk, okay, like just kind of turn it towards me. I'm really excited. Most of our board meetings have hardly anyone here on time, and with our computer, it's almost always adults. In the past, we've got to recognize people for honor roll and doing awesome things for school, and obviously last year, we could not have people here for that. Well, tonight, we are here to recognize the 15th year college. Let's give it up for them. So, I see two pieces of hardware over here. We have our first place, our first conference, the attendance conference. I'm the record was 1 in the conference season. It's just phenomenal. And we do this all the time. You're really good in the regular season. We had a tournament. And then well, that's how our girls went. And swept on this tournament for conference tournament champs as well. So that's just phenomenal to me. And when we were getting ready for the season to start, there was a lot of backward, a lot of fans in, not a lot of runs in. Thankfully, we decided we're going to allow it. One of the things we've done in the meantime is make sure that we have a live stream for fans who cannot be a couple. So I only got to watch one person. An epic game against Independence here at home to pretty much seal the regular season conference championship. And I was so impressed by their ability to just know where each other is on the court. You always ask people to kind of pull out the ball, and they did that. Even when they didn't do that, they worked so well as a team together. It was just great to watch. I'm going to ask Mrs. Bunk to come up here, who was our coach for the year and did a great job with the girls. One of the players up. This is all we're going to do. We're going to ask everyone to line up and take a picture at the end for that. So I'll have you go ahead, and it should be in order.
Okay.
So, real quick, so before we introduce the players, our tryouts were our first day back for Institute Day. So we didn't even start school yet, and we had these girls come in before school try out, and we had one practice for our first game, which started on the first day of school. So, coming into the season and one practice, I'm gonna be honest. My hopes weren't that high. I didn't know what to expect. And then they started playing, and it was the most unbelievable thing I saw, because out of all the teams I've coached throughout the years, this team never gave up on the ball. It's something to see when someone's diving out of bounds and bringing the ball in, and someone else is keeping it over the net. The other team is already celebrating their points, and we get it over the net. And that we get the point. So I think that is all the credit goes to girls, all the credit goes to their parents, for raising really, really, really great young ladies. overexcited. They won, they took care of business, we got the court. It was really, really cool to see. So I'm just happy that I was able to share it with them, because they really deserve everything. My judgment calls are all on the court with the 85, 5, 5, 6. So we definitely had a little disadvantage, but it didn't matter because our heart and our grit and our toughness really showed. So I'm very, very proud of them, and I'm proud of Finley, and I'm just proud of everything that we accomplished this year. So
Only because it's hard to speak to. I speak here at the new time, and I've been coach here at the new time. So I know what it's like when one of our teams wins, and there's no other better feeling. And I know this mom for many, many years, and I know what a good coach she is. So all that stuff that they make on you, I believe every word of it. And congratulations, from the bottom of my heart. I hope you want more success in whatever endeavors you guys go after. So congratulations.
everyone on the team, some people are here, which is understandable. So we got Emily, Navarro, number 1. She should have you're probably one of the only schools that started with. Oh, sorry. Grade level order. I just call her Doyle, but Crystal Doyle. Diana Glenn. I'm not even gonna try their last name. Eric. Seventh grader Audrey Walsh. Liliana Hernandez, she came off the bench the other one. That's a little different. John Yeager, Lisa Mammal, a lot of spirit, especially on the bench during that championship game. She was all there. She really was cheering everyone on. Luna Nowak, she's not here either. She was one of our setters. Sophia Torres, 8th grade, she was all-star this year. Very tall and big. Also one of the ones diving all over the place. Big hair, gave up her body. It was really fun to watch. Mia Alba, another all-star. She had the jumper. Yeah, really tall. I mean, I don't know where the hell it comes from. She's not here, I believe, another 8th grader. Same thing with Amanda Cameron. We have Alex, not sure try her last name. Yeah, I don't think
All right, everyone's looking up here on the video behind me. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then keep smiling on the mask while everyone else takes a few more. And I know Mr. Youngberg is here, you don't want the junior high teachers say this all the time. Academics are really, really important, but the things that we remember from junior high, high school, if we think back to our own days, are moments like this. And just continuing to encourage people to get involved in as many things as you can, whether you're going to be on the volleyball team here at Finley next year, or moving on to Richard, wherever you're going, just keep getting involved. We're more than welcome to stay at the rest of the board meeting, but now would be a great time that if you're not planning on today, that you can go ahead.
Get out now.
We do have one more award, each 1 month, we have one family member who would like to lead. And for this month, it is going to Ms. Bob.
Thank you all. Congratulations.
Jeff, can you use that? All right, whenever you want to move on to 4.1 donations, just
Okay.
make sure you unmute yourself.
Okay, 4.1. Ready?
Yeah, just make sure you unmute. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I don't think I ever muted again. I was up there. Okay. Hello, everybody. Wait, we're missing something.
They're still in the hallway.
Oh, okay. Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, 4.0, potential board action to accept a $750 grant from the Illinois Retired Teachers Association for board policy 880, donations to district grant submission courtesy of Deb Jennings and Jolene Platt, schools counselors at Finley Junior High.
Yes, so this is a grant that school counselors at Finley took upon themselves to apply for, really to give us a little leeway in things they want to look at doing for social emotional stuff in the junior high. So they were awarded this grant from the Illinois Retired Teachers Fund, and anything over $500 we can approve for donations.
Okay, approval of consent agenda 5.0, minutes of September.
We have to get a motion for that.
Oh, I'm sorry, you want it right now?
Yes.
Okay, motion for accepting the $750 grant. Second,
Ms. Joy. Mrs. Lammle is dropped connection. Mr. Markowski? Mrs. Lebudzik? And Mrs. Salzer?
aye. Ready to go? 5.0, approval of consent agenda, minutes of September 14th, 2021, open session, minutes of the September 14th closed session, and minutes of September 21st special board meeting, open session. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make my motion.
Okay.
Mrs. Lebudzik? Ms. Joy? Mr. Markowski? And Mrs. Salzer?
Aye. 6.0, superintendent's report.
Well, good evening again, everyone. It was really nice to have people back here in the board meeting to recognize some of the good things that are going on. I think that really just speaks to when we look at our school and department reports. If you go through those at each of the school, you start to see some of the normal things that we're used to. We're not back to normal yet, but we're things that we can start including. We're trying to get there as quickly as possible. 6.2 school enrollment. We were down quite a bit at this time last month. We were at 1,402 students. We've increased that by 35 students
Wow.
last month. Had a lot of people move into the district. So we're still down 10 students from this time last year, but a big difference than down 45. So PTA report, we had our first in-person PTA meeting last Tuesday, and we are having in-person bingo at Ridge Central on Friday, I believe it's the 22nd, from 6:30 to 8. And Mrs. Nottingham's giving me all these signs back here, getting all my dates mixed up. But we had a really nice turnout. We were in the library over at Central in a very from a lot of times, depending on the school we're at, we get
almost all the parents from that school to come.
but we had Ridge Central and we had quite a few Ridge
Lawn, and
I believe the next meeting is November 2nd
over
at Ridge Lawn.
But I'm excited to have in-person bingo. It is something we're asking people to
Register for ahead of time to ensure that we have enough space to just kind of pick the right place for it to be. I also know we're having, as I never forget these days, the food raiser that's going to be on the 27th, which is our half day. So that's a date I will never forget. Vacant position and possible staffing need. Really our biggest need that we're still really lacking right now are paraprofessionals. And this is not just like one or two paraprofessionals. These are paraprofessionals that we need to have in our buildings. One of the things I worked with Tino on, when you go on our website, it pops up that paraprofessionals wanted. We're trying to figure out other ways to look around. I read an article in the Tribune yesterday, district much larger than ours, but not maybe a 45-minute drive from us is looking for 79 paraprofessionals.
Yeah, it's all over.
So this is not something that we are just dealing with, but it definitely has an impact in the classroom, in the building. So we are trying really hard to make sure we're doing everything we can to get that word out there. Even just encouraging teachers to talk to their friends who might be looking for something that they think they would be good in the classroom. What they have to do to get a para license. So that right now is our biggest need. We have some other ones that we've talked about in the past, but that is the one we're really pushing hard to fill. 6.5 student council at Ridge Lawn and Ridge Central. This one I'm really excited about. We talk all the time about wanting to do as much as we can and offer as much as we can for our students. We have a really strong student council here at Finley Junior High. We have not had a student council at the elementary building. We always talk about wanting to have leaders and develop leaders within our kids. I don't understand why we wait until junior high to do that. But looking at 4th, 5th grade, starting to get kids who are interested in that, who have a lot to give their students. And so we are looking at starting a student council at both of those buildings as a stipend position. And really just kind of giving the kids who have some of those leadership qualities a chance that want to do it to show their students in their classes what they can do. And then I think that will only make our junior high that much stronger. And it gives kids just a chance to try some new things out. I think that's really, really important. And how it's looking is we'd probably start with 5th grade at the beginning of the year and then bring some 4th graders on to make sure we have a continuation of people kind of understanding what to do, and it's not every year just changing completely, but you can continue that. And one of the things we also talked about doing is making sure that there are activities between our junior high and our elementary buildings where they can kind of work together on things. That's a great thing if we were able to do that. So we are recommending that we approve the stipend position in both of those buildings later today. Next up is the strategic plan. We had Dr. Magonia out last month. The board and administrative team will have a training session on Tuesday, November 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we will have the community come out December 3rd and 4th. And those are some longer days. I think we have to recognize that 3.5 to 4 hours can be a long day, but when we look at what we can accomplish in that time and the opinions that we can hopefully gather from the community. Gino and Dr. Magonia have been working on the survey to get out. We're pretty much done. We want to still get that translated. We're just going to take some time. But that we believe will go out sometime this week for, I think, email blast over 1,700 different people in the community. So we're really excited about that. And I will also be reaching out to anyone who was involved in the strategic plan last time. See if they're still interested. And I know a lot of our parents who were on there no longer have taken in the district. So we'll also be looking for some new parent and community members as well. That doesn't preclude them from staying on. But I know a lot of times that they'll say, no, I'm okay if you want to bring on a different parent. So really looking forward to that. We'll get that out to the community this week and hopefully start getting some really good feedback. 6.7 school board vacancy update. We received 2 candidates to fill the current vacancy on the board. Remember the deadline was October 1st. And so I will be meeting and talking with both candidates on Thursday during the day. And just my purpose for meeting with people is to really answer any questions I can for them and kind of just talk about the board meetings and board responsibilities in general. And then on our next meeting, you'll see later in the agenda that we're moving the study session to a special
session so that the board can interview
those two candidates beginning at 6 o'clock before the regular meeting will start.
And then after that, whichever candidate the board chooses will go before a vote on that Tuesday, November 14th. So that's kind of the timeline we're at, and looking forward to sitting down and meeting with our community members on Thursday. All right, 6.8, Chromebook repair coverage. So we went from having a couple parts here and there around the school Chromebooks. We had more than a couple, but we had Chromebooks. Was not one-to-one. We are now one-to-one for every single student in this district. Before the Chromebooks stayed in the classroom, they went in the cart, came back out. Well, now they go home, they're in the backpacks, kids are spilling things, all things we knew would happen. We want them to use them. We don't want them to sit in a glass case, never to be used. But we're seeing a lot of broken items, screens being cracked, drinks being dropped on them. And we have piles and stacks of Chromebooks that need repair. And Gino and Tony do a really nice job of trying to keep up with it, but there's no way that they can. And it's cost prohibitive, and they can do a lot better things with their time than spending it repairing these. And we reached out, Gino reached out, and Kathy reached out to Dialpad as well as Gino. Really said, what are our options for this? And almost every district we talked to has gone with a service where basically you collect those for the week, a courier comes and picks them up, brings them out, repairs them, and brings them right back. I know a lot of high schools do that. So we are going to be recommending a 3-year contract on that. It is about $18 per device, but it also gives you warranties, anything that could go on with that. And I think it's just, we're not when we have to have Gino and Tony spend their time doing this, we're not using their expertise in the right way. And it's just not worthwhile the way we're doing it right now. The other thing that I think is important to remember is that even though we are working with this company, if a student we know breaks something or is not treating it right, there is still a fee that they would still be charged, because we do want to teach. It's still responsibility. Like, you are given this device, you still need to take care of it. That being said, though, obviously accidents happen all the time. I know many years ago I lost a nice glass of orange juice all the way across the keyboard. Obviously, do it on purpose. I think pretty responsible most of the time. But so we can balance that out with the kids. They do have to be responsible for their devices. We just really feel that this is a good use of our funds. And the best thing that Kathy found out is that we can't use it in our digital equity grant. So we're able to put this right into the grant. So any questions on that? Nope. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Just a real few short items here this evening. Worth Township Treasurer's Office manages our fund balances along with providing financial services to the district. So for the first quarter of this school year, the interest income was $37,069 and the associated costs were $17,373. The next thing is, per Illinois School Code, we do have to list on our website any contract over $25,000 that we entered into for the previous year. So that is just for informational purposes only, and that information is in your board packet. And then tomorrow that information will be posted on our district website. And that's a requirement for the Illinois School Code. So the final thing I wanted to talk about this evening is our American Rescue Plan. What we have really been calling ESSER 3 because it's our third grant from the federal government in response to COVID. The amount of that grant is $6,160,000. And there's a couple different requirements with this grant, and 20% is required for learning loss, and there is an amount required for summer school and for after school activities. So administration has been working over the past several weeks on trying to put this grant together with those considerations in mind. And once we get a little bit closer, we will be sharing that with the community as well, because another part of this grant is usually when you write a grant, you get board approval and Iasbi okays it. We need to do it a little backwards because it is such a substantial amount of money. Administrators are going to put the grant together. We're required to share that with our stakeholders. So we are going to be putting the draft of that grant on our website. We're going to communicate through email, Class Dojo, to let our families and our community members know to look at it. We are required to take their feedback into consideration. And then we will also then incorporate that information and feedback into our draft. And then we will present it to the Board of Education. The Board of Education will have the final say so, but we will incorporate all of that information. Once we get the board approval, then we actually submit it to Iasbi. So it's a little bit different, but it's really a very valuable process because we want as much input as possible on this grant. So the final grant, we're looking to get board approval in the November meeting for that. Does anybody have any questions on any of those issues?
I do.
Yeah.
With this ESSER grant
Mhm.
or the other ones before it, does it get split evenly among schools or is it like per student
Mhm.
body of, or like a percentage of another in each school?
Okay, so with these grants, there is no requirement because with some grants such as Title I, which is based on low income, we do need to spend money accordingly where the population dictates. But these grants do not have any such requirement. Mhm.
And I think a perfect example, one of the things you look at when you're talking about, I mean, this came from the COVID relief and they talk all the time about ventilation units. It's not really tied to low income in that case. So you have one building that has one that's 5 years old, another that has one that's 25 years old. So for once, they give us kind of flexibility to spend.
Any other questions? Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Old business? Nothing?
Nope.
Other? Nope. New business? Okay, for 9.1, we have potential board action to nominate an alternate representative for the IASB, ISBO, IASA conference in November 2021.
Yes, so Mrs. Salzer is our representative, but we have an opening for the alternate. So if you were planning on being down there, and I believe it's mainly Saturday, that you have to go and vote if Mrs. Salzer is not able to attend. So we just need to nominate, second, and vote on an alternate.
Can I nominate Chrissy? Okay, I'll nominate Chrissy.
Is she planning to go to, is she going to tri-conference? Okay.
We have a motion and a second for Mrs. Petropoulos. Mr. Malakowski? Mrs. Lubotzik? Mrs. Lamel, again, not joined. Ms. Joy?
Aye.
Mrs. Salzer?
Aye. Potential board action to approve contract with Technology Resource Advisors in the amount of $48,660.
And that's basically the Chromebook repair and warranty.
Motion?
I'll second.
Mr. Malakowski? Mrs. Lubotzik? Ms. Joy?
Aye.
Mrs. Salzer?
Aye. Potential board action to approve student council MOU.
I'll make a motion.
Ms. Joy? Mrs. Lubotzik? Mr. Malakowski? And Mrs. Salzer?
Aye. Potential board action to make October 26th, 2021 study session a special meeting with 6 p.m. start time. Motion? Second?
Mrs. Lubotzik? Ms. Joy? Mr. Malakowski? And Mrs. Salzer?
Aye. We have no other meeting reports. Nope. Other, nope. Informational opportunity for visitors to speak. Okay, president's prerogative. I was so glad to see One of our teams just, and apparently from what Julie was saying, just went all out and really were successful. A lot of people count out Chicago Ridge all the time, and anybody who's been around here a lot knows that. They would always push them to the side. And every once in a while, we sneak out and take it. So that's a good thing. And I'm so glad for these girls. And from what Julie was saying about them, it sounds like these are girls that can go far, not only here, but also in life. So that is something so magnificent. I'm so happy for all of them and their families. And to Julie, too, for coaching such a good team. Okay? Thank you.
All right, we will be adjourning to closed session for the purpose of the discussion of the appointment, employment, compensation,
Discipline,
performance or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
However,
A meeting to consider an increase in compensation to a specific employee of a public body that is subject to the Local Government Wage Increase Transparency Act may not be closed until we open to the public and posted and held in accordance with this act as defined in the Open Meetings Act, Section 2C1. The discussion of collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees
or the representatives
or deliberations concerning schedules for one or more classes of employees as described in Section 2C2. The discussion of pending or probable and imminent litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the district as defined in Section 2C11, and the discussion of minutes of prior meeting lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act as defined in Section 2C21 for the purpose of review, approval, or release of such minutes. We will not be discussing any student disciplinary cases or security measures during this meeting.
Aye.